So my today's special guest is the wonderful Eileen Connelly. Now, Eileen is a 60-something woman who seems to have no intention of slowing down or retiring for the foreseeable future. Her words, not mine. And after working full-time in admin roles since 1976, she has been studying over the last few years and is now embarking on setting up her own holistic well-being business. Now, she very recently did a couch to 5K and thought it made perfect sense to train for a half and full marathon, both of which are happening in April next year. And as an aside, Eileen has also given up alcohol, and she's been alcohol-free for the last 2 years, which is just phenomenal. Now, she has very kindly agreed to chat with me today and tell me a little bit more about her journey and more about how important it is to take time to take care of yourself. So Eileen, thank you so much for joining me. Really appreciate it. It's great to see you.
Thank you for asking me.
That's a pleasure. So Eileen, how did you go from working in admin for all those years, so from senior admin work, to suddenly holistic well-being? Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so I'm still doing some admin work. So I started really in holistic stuff about 17 odd years ago. So my parents are Irish. We always used to go to Ireland for our holidays. I've got family in Ireland still. And I was there about 17 years ago on one of my holidays. And my cousin's wife was actually studying massage. And she wanted me and my sister to just be one of her case studies. So we had some massage treatments. And I knew what massage was, but I didn't really often have massage. So that was nice, and it was helping her towards her studies. But then she started talking about Reiki, and I've never heard of Reiki. I didn't know what it was, but my ears, it kind of went over my head thinking, oh, I don't know what it is. It didn't spark my interest, just the word Reiki.
Yeah.
Until she said, because they lived on farms, so all my family and I, and they're right in the countryside, about, and I'm saving a fortune on vet bills because I'm doing Reiki on the cows. And that's when my interest picked. I mean,
yeah, oh.
What's that all about? She said, oh, geez, I'm saving a fortune on vet bills. And so then I wanted to know more about the Reiki. And she was saying it's an energy healing, and I didn't really know anything about it. So when I came home, I was talking to my friends at work about it, and one of them said, oh, my friend's a Reiki master. She lives in Hong Kong normally, but she's in London at the moment. And I was in London, and actually where I worked was just along the road from where I live. So her friend said she'd come and do some Reiki 1 training with us. So there was 3 of us from work, and this Reiki master, Claire, her name was. And it was such a wonderful experience. And that's really when I started doing Reiki. But I only did it on friends and family and had some good results. I was working full time. I was a single mum. I didn't have time. I didn't even think about it being a business. But all them years ago, one thing was in my heart from that day was this Claire was saying what she used to do with her Reiki, and she used to do a lot of voluntary work in hospices with cancer patients and helping them at their end of life with some pain relief and relaxation and things like that. And what she used to do is attune the family to Reiki. I mean, they wouldn't be a Reiki practitioner because they hadn't gone for a training, but she would attune them to Reiki so they could give Reiki treatments to their family members or friends. And that was just one thing that stuck with me. And I thought, oh my God, I'd love to do something. I'd love to do something like that. And that was, like, say, 17 years ago. So I've done Reiki on and off. And a few years ago, and that's really one of the reasons why I stopped. I just wanted to pack up alcohol. Because I thought, it's an energy. It's like with any therapy work, really. You're much better, I think, taking care of yourself as well. And I thought, let me just get alcohol out of the way. So I stopped drinking alcohol and I focused more on my Reiki, and I started doing a lot more Reiki on different people. And that was nice. And I wanted to go that a bit further. I started doing a facial massage, and I went into some massage stuff. So that's really how I started in holistic well-being, was with Reiki all them years ago. And so I thought where I am now with holistic well-being. Yeah. So I did a facial massage course, and you did a little bit of anatomy and physiology from the neck up, because that's all you're working on. And I kind of got interested in that, thinking, well, actually, you don't have to have anatomy and physiology for Reiki, but I thought it would serve me better, and I could serve my clients better if I had a qualification in anatomy and physiology. So I thought I'd do holistic massage with anatomy and physiology. So I did that. I did pregnancy massage, and I'm just finished aromatherapy. So, and I really love all those holistic natural treatments all coming together. So then last year I thought, well, I want to do this more as a business. Going into later life, I can't see myself retiring, sitting in front of the TV. I want to be doing something. And when I do them treatments, and you see how people change in that 1 hour, and you feel it as well, and with the massage as well. And that's what gives me kind of great joy. But also, so I went part-time towards the end of last year, thinking, oh, I'll build my business next year, 2020. What a good idea that was. Yay. I'm thinking, I'm going to be 60 in May, and then in June I'm going to launch my business. That was my plan. Well, we all know what happened to that plan. But what I did do when I went part-time was started looking into becoming a volunteer. All them years later, 17 years after that, I met that woman who said about the volunteer thing, and I got a volunteer complementary therapy role in a big London hospital in the cancer unit, working with outpatients in the cancer unit there. So they can have massage or Reiki. It depends on their diagnosis, depends on their circumstances, because some patients can't even have any massage, but they can have Reiki. So yes, I was doing that 1 day a week in the hospital, and you work round the patients. Most of them are there for chemo. Some might just come for a blood test, but a lot of them are there for chemo. They're there for hours on end having their chemo treatments, and we work round them in their chair, and give them treatments. So that's a really wonderful service in the NHS, complementary therapy. A lot of people don't know that they're volunteers. I mean, there will be a paid member of staff that runs the service, but most of the people giving the treatments are volunteers like myself. And of course that's all on hold as well at the moment. So that's that little Reiki with my cousin mentioning it, and the cows.
I love that. Reiki on the cows. That's brilliant.
I love that. And people do Reiki on their animals,
Yeah, that's fantastic. So it seems like such an obvious question, but it clearly it's not, because so many people don't do this. But why is it so important to just take the time to look after and care for ourselves with this sort of stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it's so important, because even now, we've got more gadgets than ever before, more time-saving devices, and yet we all say, I've got no time. I've got no time. And it's so important. It is about self-care, and it's just even that 1 hour now and again, even, something to look forward to, because, with the life that we have and being busy and not stopping, we often feel selfish. That's a very common word. Feel selfish, feel guilty. That's the two words people say. And sometimes, selfishness to me, it isn't about taking time for yourself. Selfish is when you literally have no regard or thought for anybody else apart from yourself. It's always about that person. And so giving yourself some time isn't selfish, but I think we get into some habits as well of not setting boundaries. And then as things go on and on, it's like, you resent the things you do because you haven't got the time for yourself. But sometimes it's choice as well. We don't stop to think, I've got a choice here. Because I sometimes do, when I see clients, I go, well, I have to do this and I have to do that and I can't do this. And you kind of stop them and sometimes talk to them, and it's like, you can, and it's a choice, and it's about choices, but we don't always stop to think that. And I think it is the guilt thing, but it's so important, because with all that burden, it brings us stress, it brings us into alcohol, smoking, drugs, bad food, takeaways, and just not relaxing, just not taking that time out. So it's so important to have that time. Stress, taking that stress away, having better quality sleep, it just is beneficial for your whole overall well-being. And actually we have to work on ourselves, because if we don't, we're not really the best use to somebody else either. It is about filling our own cup, as they say.
Yeah.
And I know one of the things that often people will use an analogy, and it's one I think a lot of people get, is on an aeroplane is always put your face mask on, put your mask on first, even before your child. Your child don't come first. You have to, because without your mask on, you're no good to your child or whoever it might be that's with you, your elderly parent or anybody. So it is like that. We need to put our face mask on first so we can help other people as well and do the things that we want to do. But sometimes it's about stopping and setting boundaries. Sometimes it's saying no, and sometimes people don't like it, but they have to deal with that, you know.
Yeah, that's their issue rather than yours.
It is their issue, but we take it all. Sometimes we take things on too much of other people and try and do the work for other people, but we have to do our own work ourselves. Yes. So I remember years ago, a guy I worked with, he was from some little place up in Scotland somewhere, and he was telling us that, you know, his mum was quite different to lots of other women in that, you know, community where they were, because it was kind of the traditional mum doing the mum things. And then one day she just said, right, let's sit on a Sunday. I ain't doing anything on a Sunday. I ain't even doing dinner. And he was like, if you want dinner, anyone in this house wants dinner, they have to sort themselves out. There's things in the fridge, you sort yourself out. But everyone else does nothing on a Sunday, so why am I? And I ain't doing anything. And he said at first, he was like a teenager, I think 14 or 15. He wasn't like a baby that needed his mum to feed him. And he said, we did think it was a bit strange, but he said as he grew older, he was really proud of his mum taking that stand. He said, and none of us starved to death. And in fact, it was like, we'd all taken turns, say, who wants to dinner? And sometimes she would do something, but the main thing was, I'm not doing it. Because that was her time as well. And everyone else was having their time. And she said, well, why can't I? And that's, yeah.
I think particularly, and I've got lots of friends who are mums, and listening to them speak, it's very much women, when they become a mother, tend to put everyone else before themselves. And it's kind of like an unwritten rule almost that you need to be doing that.
Yeah.
And so just stepping back and saying, do you know what, I do need some time for me.
And that bit of time could be just, right, I'm going in the bathroom now, and I'm going to go in the bar for half an hour, and I want no one. I don't want no one asking me anything, because in half an hour, unless it's literally about my life and death, usually it isn't. Don't come near me. Don't come in the bathroom. Don't knock on the door. You know, it could be just taking a walk in nature. It's not, you know, there's so many things that self-care is. It's 20 minutes meditation, but you just set that time for yourself, and you look forward to that, and it makes just 1 hour a week or half an hour, even something for yourself, makes you feel, you know, so much better.
Yeah, I completely agree. I love the airplane analogy. I would just put a proviso for parents of more than one child. Choose your favourite. Fitness, that's next. So Eileen, you're doing an awful lot with stuff like massage. How have you been coping with the restrictions that have been put in place?
Well, for me, I mean, you know, I was working part-time, so I felt kind of fortunate that everything didn't go overnight, because I know a lot of massage therapists are still in contact with my massage tutor, and other, you know, people from the hospital where I worked that was their full-time job, was massage and complementary therapy work. So overnight, the whole thing went. So, you know, I suppose I felt more for those people than for myself, but it was difficult. And it was difficult for, you know, at the hospital, although, you know, you didn't always see the same patient, maybe you did sometimes see the same patient. You get to know them. If you walk through the wall, they'd wave at you and say things. And I really miss that, you know, missing them and hearing their little journey, and, you know, and how they managed with that. So that part of it was a shame, and for them to not have that treatment, because obviously that was cut very, very quickly. Because those are patients that have completely got compromised immunity, and that service is not an essential. It's a nice to have, and it's a lovely to have, but it's not an essential part of their treatment. Their chemo and that is their essential treatment, not a little bit of a foot massage or a little bit of Reiki. But what they were able to offer was distant Reiki to patients. If they wanted to still carry on with the treatment, they could have distant Reiki. So not all the therapists do Reiki. So I was one of the ones that contacted. So I'm still doing some distant Reiki on some cancer patients from the hospital. But, you know, there's other people that, you know, they're going, oh, when's the massage coming? When's the massage coming back? And with some certain groups, I've been doing like online follow along facial massage and hand and arm massage, and they all liked it. Yeah. And then it was like a couple of weeks ago, they're going, yeah, we're loving it, but I'm fed up doing it on myself. I want someone to do it for me. When can that happen?
yeah,
you miss that, and I miss, you miss making someone just feel so nice about themselves. And sometimes it's about feeling nice, but like the facial, it's there's more to a facial than just making it feel nice. But people that came for massage and that, I had some clients that have got osteoarthritis, and you can see that the movement in their hand and their feet is so much different after treatment. And we were talking earlier about stress. Sometimes in a treatment you can see and feel someone go from coming in like that to in that 1 hour. And that's the thing about self-care. Whatever that self-care is, the result's often the same. So in that time they go from being tense and talking fast and being angry about something, and then it's like like that at the end. That's kind of that's the nice thing about it. So because you can see that tension, that stress for that time's gone, and they're able to better manage whatever it is that was annoying them.
Cool. I just very quickly, because I know I've got an idea of what Reiki is, but there may be some people listening who don't really know what Reiki is, and they certainly like distance Reiki. What's that? Can you tell us a little bit more about how normal Reiki and distance Reiki work?
So Reiki is energy healing, energy treatment, and it's done through using hands. And you can put so when I'm doing a treatment, you can do a full treatment where you start from the head, work down the body. So you can put your hands on, it's only lightly on. It's not massaging. It literally is just laying of hands. So I can put hands on, or you can keep your hands above. Now, some people don't like being touched. You can have hands above. The effect is the same. Some people actually prefer. They feel they get a better energy when hands are off. So it's an energy that's coming through. There's a universal energy that surrounds us. Everything's made of energy. So I'm just kind of the transmitter of that energy to someone's body. So that's if someone's here, they'll be on the couch. Generally, if they come for a full treatment. I've done lots of treatments, say in little mini treatments at work, for instance. I go, I've got such a headache, and I can do a little treatment just on that area. Maybe one woman at work, her neck was really stiff, so I just worked on that particular area. You can do things like that for 15-20 minutes. So distant Reiki. So even when I first learned Reiki and I was learning distant Reiki, I was a little bit like, okay, what was that all like? So what distant Reiki is I'm where I am here at home and you're at your home, wherever that might be. It could be somewhere else in another country even. Just need to work out the time. Which is a bit more tricky. And so then I'd agree a time. I say, okay, I'm going to do tomorrow night, 9 o'clock. Is that fine? You say, yeah, that's fine. I'd normally ring you at 8:30. So you still all right for 9 o'clock? And then I'd get you to be in a relax. You wouldn't be out partying or in the pub or something like that, or driving either, because it's complete relaxing. So you can be watching the TV even, or you can be reading a book. A lot of people like to be, laying down in bed or something like that. And that's why I often do evening Reiki treatments about 9 o'clock when people maybe are ready for bed. It doesn't have to be that time. And so the way I explain it, because we'll go, well, how does that get to me? How does the Reiki get to me when I'm not even there? So one of the ways I explain it, or to try and make it understandable, is the energy. So I like to have a photograph of somebody, because then I can focus on that photograph. You can just have someone's name and their date of birth, so you're focusing on that person, but I like to have a photograph, and to know if they've got a certain area that might have shoulder pain or a leg pain. So I'll focus on that particular area more. Now the way I describe it is, because it's an energy and we can't see that, it's a little bit like Wi-Fi. We don't know the Wi-Fi. We can't see it. We can't touch it or feel it. Oh yeah, my Wi-Fi's there. My Wi-Fi's all right. It's working. And I kind of say it like that. So think of it like your Wi-Fi. You can't see it. You can't feel it or touch it. But you go to find something on Google and it comes up. You go, my Wi-Fi's working. Yay! And it's a little bit. I kind of say it like that. So you have to trust the energy, and I will do what I need to do to make my connection with the energy to you, and it just kind of works then. So, and I always say to people is, you know, the thing is with Reiki will do no harm. It's not, you'll either get some benefit from it, or some people say they didn't have anything. I've not had very many people say that. So it's not like something that's going to go wrong. So I always say to people, if you're not sure, then maybe try it. So, and I had an acquaintance through someone else I knew. He's normally in the UK, but he was working in India, and he messaged me saying about this Reiki thing you do, and that distant Reiki, because I'm working in India. Will it work in India? I said, yes, it will work wherever you are. And he was stressed out and things weren't going right with this job he was doing over there, and he was going, I just haven't slept probably for like 2 nights, and I just want to try something. Can it work? And I think, I can't remember the time difference. So I think his evening was, say, about 2 o'clock in the afternoon for me or something. And I was at home, something like that, I remember. And so he said, right, I'm in bed. And I remember him saying, I'm going to go and brush my teeth now. I'll be back. And it was just things like that. So he did what he wanted to do, to get ready for bed. And he went to bed. And he slept. He slept all through the night. And he said he felt really, really good. Yeah. And that's just saying to someone, just try it and see. But it can seem a weird thing, because, you know, it's something we can't see, feel or touch, and those things are strange for us.
I remember reading a little while ago about some science, some research into Reiki, and they had different groups of rats, and they taught some of the students who were there, they taught them how to do the hand movements, but they called it sham Reiki because they didn't really know what they were doing. They hadn't been trained. They just knew how to do the movements. And they had someone who would just go into the room with the rats in there. They had the students going in doing sham Reiki, and then they had Reiki practitioners go in and do Reiki on the rats. And it showed the benefits that the rats got from the actual Reiki. They didn't get anything from the sham or the people just going in, but with the actual Reiki practitioners, I can't remember what it was they measured, but it was absolutely fascinating. Yeah. So, I mean, these people are like, oh no, it doesn't work. You know, I tend to find they usually haven't tried it for a start. It's just, because everything is energy, like you say. We're all connected, so
we are connected, and that's the thing. So it's one of them things that, you know, it's like I say, it's like Wi-Fi. You know it works, but how? I don't know how it does. You know, if someone comes to fix your Wi-Fi, I'm not really interested in what they're actually doing. I was like, I just don't want it to work, you know.
So we know you got into Reiki through cows, which is a fantastic story, but you're into so much more than just Reiki. You've already mentioned the massage, and I know you also deal with Tropic, which is skincare products and makeup. And how did you kind of get into the other aspects, like the massage and the Tropic? What sort of got you interested in those?
So I've got Tropic stuff behind me because I was doing.
Yeah, I did notice that.
Yeah. I did a pamper party, and I've got a pamper party tomorrow, so it's out for my pamper party. Yeah. So Tropics, I started looking when I started getting more into, you know, the well-being and that. So I started looking at what am I doing for myself, and one of the things I'd never paid no attention to was what products am I using and what's in the products, and actually start, you know, learning more about stuff in products. It's the ingredients of products. I was like, you know, I wasn't very happy. So I started looking at using products that didn't have the potentially harmful chemicals in them, and things that might be skin irritants, possible carcinogens and things like that. So I was using a particular one product and trying to get used to that, but there was something that I didn't feel, you know, you didn't feel connected to it in a way, which is weird about a product. Why would I feel connected to a product? But I kind of didn't. And then I was at an event one weekend, and somebody had their Tropic stuff, and I was going, oh, that's a, you know, coincidence. I'm looking at different products and things, and so I kind of started testing them out, testing them out and trying them. And when I heard some of the story around it, Tropic was founded by Susie Ma. She's still young anyway, only 31. But she started doing Tropic, she started creating products when she was about 15 or younger than that, but she started selling it when she was 15, and that was to help her mum out with some bills in Greenwich Market. And so I like the idea around the natural products. I liked it around the ingredients that are used. I like it that it's freshly made, and in the UK. I think that's one of the things that drew me, was it's made in the UK. I really like that. But the freshly made stuff, I mean, it doesn't, you know, it's not like you buy it today and it's gone tomorrow. In terms, it will last. That's to do with the packaging and things like that with it. But it's not stuff that's sitting on a shelf for donkey's years, and we, you know, where a lot of products are, and that's the chemicals that are in them. So I like that behind it, and I like the fact that Susie, it's not a faceless brand, and for me that was quite important. So I only started using it for myself, and then I started, you know, people started asking me about what I was using and blah 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 blah, and then it just kind of went into, now I sell it to other people. And like I say about Susie, what I like about Susie is she's so passionate, first of all, about natural skincare and the environment. So a lot of the stuff is environment. We're carbon neutral. It's a carbon neutral company, and she's signed up with United World Schools, and so for every £50 of Tropic sold, it buys 1 day's education for remote parts of places like Cambodia, where these people would never have no chance of any education. And in fact, they just built a school in Cambodia as well. Exactly. It's way exceeded what she thought it would, and they've been able to get over 1 million days of schooling for these children. She's done stuff in the UK as well. So I like that about her. She cares about the product. She cares about ambassadors like myself who sell the product, but also she cares about customers. So like if customers, when she rebranded and had new packaging, some of the packaging wasn't quite right, so it's like, okay, we're not going to have that. And I love that you feel that you are properly connected with the company. And someone said to me, it was a really good question actually, a friend of mine said, well, who's Tropic owned by? Someone said Susie Marsh. Yeah, I know you said that. I know you said that. But really, who owns it? Because, you know, like you may or may not know, you've got like big brand names, Estee Lauder and MAC and all these things, and they all come under massive big umbrellas. There's only like a few massive organisations that own a whole load of product underneath it, and we don't realise that. We think that these people are who owns it, but they're not. So I said, no, Tropic actually sits on its own. So for me, I was like, oh, I hadn't thought of it that way. So, and what I like about, the one thing I did like about it as well was that there's a 30-day, what they call happiness guarantee. It's a money back guarantee. There's literally no quibble. And I know that because I've been with them for about 3 years now. And at the moment, because of COVID and, you know, things taking a little bit longer, there's a 90-day guarantee, a money back guarantee. So I kind of like all that stuff around it, you know, besides the product being really, really nice, it's all the other things that go with it.
Yeah. And I think I'm right in saying that Tropic, you can't get it in shops. It is literally just individuals doing things.
Ambassadors like this.
Yeah. So how are the Pamper parties working at the moment with all the social distancing stuff going on?
So obviously we can't have Pamper parties, so I've started doing online ones. So that's why I've got my things there. So although the lovely thing about the Pamper parties is that, you know, when you've got your products, you can try them and smell them and go, oh, that's really kind of nice. And, you know, if there's someone nearby that lives nearby, you could sometimes give them a skincare collection, say, oh, take away, try that for a couple of days and whatever, and then bring that back. So, you know, of course, we can't do that, which is why Susie's extended that guarantee to 90 days. So you've got time to try it and say, do I like it or not? And, you know, so yeah, I'm doing online ones now, is what I'm saying. Then I can talk through the products, and I can say what's in the products, and you know, I know you can't smell it or feel it, but yeah. But then if there's something that interests people, they can buy it, and then if they don't like it, they just send it back.
Yeah, fantastic.
You know, I think but how many times we buy things from stores, they're not going to say, oh yeah, take it back if you don't like it. And then they're not, you know, so.
Yeah. Awesome. I love that. And I'm assuming that things like the massage, do you use some of the Tropic stuff when you're doing the massage and stuff like that?
Yeah, so body massage, I'm usually using an oil. I wouldn't normally use Tropic oil for that. But what I do use it for is my facials, the facials. So when I do facials, it's all Tropic. It's all Tropic stuff, because we've got things from the cleansers, the toners, moisturizer, face mask, face scrub, and all that. So the whole thing is Tropic. So it's a proper Tropic facial. Yeah. And the one thing I'd always say out of any facial skincare tip or whatever, the one thing, and you know, this is not just Tropic saying this. This is from when I went on my facial skincare course, which is not related to Tropic at all. The one thing you can do you know what it is?
Go on.
SPF on your face. Put an SPF on your face every single day, no matter what the weather is, because that is the one thing that's going to help your skin. And a lot of people say, oh, why have Tropic not got a moisturizer with an SPF in it? Because they do two different things. Moisturizer is going into your skin and it's moisturizing your skin. An SPF kind of sits on the surface of your skin. So if you're a moisturizer with an SPF, it will do some of the job, but it's not going to do the same job as having a separate SPF on its own. So at the end of every facial treatment, I will put and if you've had a facial treatment, that's what the therapist should be doing, is putting an SPF on. I mean, we sit there and we just let them do what they do, and we don't know what they're putting on our face, really.
I'm usually just drooling a little bit.
Yeah, but generally the last, after your moisturizer, SPF, and then you can put your makeup on.
Yeah, fantastic. And why do you recommend Tropic? I mean, what drives the passion for you? Is it just simply the story behind it, or is it what's in them?
It's the product. It is the products. The products, I feel that my skin is so much better. And my skin is just so much better.
Yeah.
And you know what I like, then they've brought out the makeup. So the makeup's a mineral-based makeup. So there's a couple of things what I talk about with when I speak to, you know, at the pamper parties, or I speak to people one-to-one or whatever. So there's an app, I don't know if you've ever heard of it, called Think Dirty. So Think Dirty, you're laughing.
I don't know, I know it.
Think Dirty is a really good app. It's independent, it's nothing to do with Tropic. And that's where you can look up products, and they will score them from 0 to 10, 0 being good and green and 10 being red and not so good. So what you can do is look on products, and some of you might think, oh, that's a good product that I buy, because often people say, oh yeah, because I buy good products. And I always just suggest to them, well, maybe look it up on Think Dirty. It's not for me to say, actually, I know what that product is, maybe.
Yeah.
I think it's best for people to do their own little bit of research, and that's easy to do. You just type in the product and it will come up with a scoring. Then you can click on that product and it will go into depth as to why. Some of it might be green in there, so there'll be a whole list of ingredients, and there might be a couple of them that are red. And then it will tell you why are they red? Are they, sometimes they're potential carcinogens, sometimes they're skin irritants and things like that. And then people might go, actually, that's why my skin's always itching, or I'm always coming up with stuff.
Yeah.
So Tropic comes down the bottom. So that's important to me, that Tropic doesn't have that high score on there.
Yeah.
And also it's about putting product on our skin, you know, and I learned this a lot more as well through when I did my aromatherapy, because obviously, yeah, essential oils are lovely, but actually even in an essential oil treatment, there's a maximum amount of essential oil drops you can put into a treatment for anybody, because, you know, too much can kind of make people feel a little bit, it won't make them sick, or sometimes it can make them sick, but it can make them maybe feel a little bit headachy, because you can have too much of a good thing, as they say.
Yeah.
So there was so it's about stuff that goes in our bodies. The products we put on our body is going into our body and into our bloodstream and all around our body. So there was I remember seeing this at a Veg Fest one year, not that long ago, maybe a couple of years ago, and I can send you the link to it actually. And it was a study done on 100 young teenage girls. I mean, because they're ones that now they put such a lot of product on their faces. That's one bit. But besides the product that we put from our head down to our toes on, it's a lot of product. And so they wanted to they did a study, and they asked them for 3 days to go with 0 product. And so they took their blood tests on the start, and after 3 days, the chemical toxicity had reduced by 1/3 in 3 days.
Wow.
And I think it's that kind of stuff. It's like, I know when I'm using my product, I feel it's safe. It's a safe product. And that for me is important.
Yeah.
And that's why I say to people, look up stuff on Think Dirty, think about that. And then it's back to what I'm saying about self-care. We have that choice. People have that choice then, you know. I'll just give them those little tools and the things they can go and check out their products. And I go, yeah, but I still want my product that I know is a red and 10. And that's fine, you know. I'm not there.
That's their choice, yeah.
And another thing I like about Tropic is that, you know, as an ambassador, it's not about, we're not pushy people. It's about try the product. If you like it, then that's fine. It's not about targets and goals. You know, I know sometimes people go, oh no, it's another one of them companies. They're going to force me to buy things, and then I've got to be buying things every single month. And you know, it's not like that. It's about do what you want to do, and you know, and it's about the product, trying the product, and do you like it? And if you do, then we're all using you should be using a cleanser. We're using these products anyway, so maybe why not think about trying something else that might be a more safe product than what you're using. But then I say it's people to decide.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point as well, because you tend to forget that the stuff you put on your skin is actually going inside you. And it's not, in a way, it's almost worse, because it's not, when it's food, it goes to your liver, which detoxifies. There's a lot of detoxification, but when you're putting it on your skin, it goes straight through into your bloodstream, which then just goes straight to your organs, really. It's
and it's going around your body.
That's a very important thing to say. And I laughed with the Think Dirty, because I was introduced to that app, and I can remember just looking at all the stuff that I use, and I just cleaned my bathroom out. I was like, I can't use this, can't use this. It cost me a fortune. But I
know. And I did a Facebook thing in a group I belonged to. They wanted to know, because it was when it was really sunny, and they wanted to know about some sun care stuff. So I was talking about sun care stuff, and then somebody was looking up some particular brands, and it was classed under the baby range, and it came up very high score, 8. And when you looked into it to see why did it have that 8, it was to do with tests that have been done on rats, was showing the raised chemical levels on that. And the thing is, it's like with food. Even it's about marketing entices us to buy things, and we don't really know. And I didn't know these things, you know. I notice there's a lot of adverts now where they, you know, for shampoos, and they're going, it's free from parabens. It's like, yay, it's great. And it's like, yeah, but there's a whole other list of things. What about that? I think they've sussed on that people know now about parabens, so they use it in their marketing. There's no parabens, but there's another big parabens, just one thing that's come off that list. You know?
It's like the whole free from food stuff, free from wheat. Yeah, but it's got a buttload of sugar in it.
Yeah. Low fat and it's full of sugar. Marketing's very, very clever. Marketing's clever for them kind of things. So
but like you say, it's all about, you know, finding out for yourself and then making your own choice, which
but people make their choice, you know. But I think it's knowing about it first, because some people don't know about these things.
Exactly.
Like, actually, you need to know about it then to make the choice, and then that is down to them people. I mean, Hawaii a couple of years ago brought out a ruling. I think it's going to start, because that's take some time for these things to come in. I think it's next year it's starting, because they've banned chemical-based sunscreens.
Oh, good.
Because the amount of damage it's doing to the ocean. It's not on its own responsible for bleaching of the coral reef, but it has, because there's other stuff that's going in the sea that we know is no good for the sea. We know that, but it does have an impact on the sea. So the sun cream that we have is certified land and sea safe. So that's a certification that a lot of people don't have. And it goes to get that certification, the product goes under lots and lots of testing to get that. So it's good for the environment, and it's good for our body as well.
Yeah,
so,
awesome.
Which is
brilliant. So Eileen, you're clearly extremely passionate about all this. I love it. What are your, I mean, I know we're currently in a difficult situation, but what are your plans for the rest of the year? Where are you going next? What are you doing?
So massage has come back now. And actually facials, you weren't allowed to have any facials. Like if you want to go, my eyebrows really need doing. I don't pluck my eyebrows, I get them waxed, and I can't stand threading. So but anyway, whatever you wanted on your eyebrows, or your facials, you can't have any of that done. But from the 1st of August, you can have them now. So yay, that's all good. And they brought massage back, a week or so ago. So I've got some bookings now for my massage. I've got some people coming for Reiki, so I can start my facial. So really, the rest of this year, I think people still might be a little bit wary, and there'll still be some restrictions. We don't need to wear a face mask for treatments, but we need to wear a shield, like the visor thing. And for some people that might be, I'm not in a clinical setting. So for some people it might be, well, I'd rather wait till it's kind of normal, and I don't feel like I'm in some clinical space having to put sanitizer on, and because of things you do need to do. So it might be a little bit slow, but then again, we're nearly in August now. So my plan is just to carry on telling people about Tropic, letting people know about my treatments, doing my little facials online and little massage, and just kind of doing some stuff online, because that's all I can do at the moment. And then when it gets when we're a little bit freer, I can maybe do some little social distanced little pampers or social distance aromatherapy things, where you make up a little product for yourself or something like that, without everyone having to touch the bottles. I can just put the drops in, something like that. So there's things that can be done. So
fantastic. So Eileen, where can people go to find out a little bit more about you?
So they can go to, my website is not ready yet, so they can go,
I'm not ready.
Then go to my Facebook, Eileen Connelly, and I've got a Facebook page, Eileen Connelly Treatments. So, and they can find out some stuff there. And when, I've got a private Facebook group that my Tropic clients go into. So people my Tropic customers go into. So if people become a Tropic customer, they go into my VIP Tropic group as well then. So
a VIP group. That's lovely. And for anyone interested, I will pop those links into the comments as well. So Eileen, thank you so much for your time. Before we finish off, you did mention about doing sort of online facial massage instruction type stuff. Can we do a bit of that now?
We can do a bit now, yeah. We can do a bit. So, when you normally do a facial massage, you normally take all your makeup off. I do this actually live as well. Use the products and take all my makeup off. I'm not going to do that right. So we can do a little bit of facial massage, yeah.
Cool. I'll let you lead the way.
Okay, so when I do this, I will start. Actually, I'm going to put a little headband on. I will talk a little bit as I'm doing it to just let you know about a bit more about facial cleansing and facial massage and why you should be doing it.
Yeah, cool.
Whatever product.
This will also go on a podcast, so if we can keep it audio as well, that'd be brilliant.
What?
If we can keep it audio as well as visual, that'd be brilliant.
Oh yeah. Now I use when I do my facial massage, so you can use some people might already use a face oil, so I usually use like a little face oil. So I use Tropic. I use this one called Super Greens. You can see it's nearly gone, and it literally is greens. Look at the state of my hair. It really is green for your face. It's got kale and broccoli and tamanu tamanu oil. Tamanu oil is really good because tamanu oil has natural skin repair properties in it. So yeah, so I'm going to use a couple of drops of this super greens, and I've got this elixir. It's a omega age defying oil, and it's a lovely oil to have. So I'm going to mix a couple of them together. So, and all you do is just get your oil or your moisturizer, whatever you're using, and you just get that all over your face.
I had to pretend I've got some moisturizer and oil.
Hey? What did you say?
I have to pretend that I've got some moisturizer and oil.
Yeah, so when you're doing any kind of a facial massage on yourself, just make sure that you have got enough product on your skin, because you don't want to be dragging the skin, and especially around the eye area. You don't want to start dragging and pulling. So if you need to put a little bit more on, just put that on. So, you know, you can start with a nice little massage. I just need to put it around this neck area, on your neck area. So, and you can do a nice little massage just all around your neck. And this area as well here, you know, we often forget this décolletage area. I think some people pronounce it a bit differently, because that's the bit that goes a little bit dry and wrinkly looking and that. So really look after that and really massage a nice bit of oil or something into there, whatever you might be using. And then you can just do some nice circles all around your neck and up to your shoulders and everything.
I'm doing the circles.
So you can do like a sweeping under your cheek. So you're always going upwards on a massage, and then what you want to do is avoid that middle bit where your throat is.
Okay.
So you just kind of go past that little bit there. And we come round. This will be like a bit of a short one, but I do longer ones. So if you want to go to Eileen Connelly treatments, I'll be doing some more massages and things there, because I do hand massages as well. There's not much else I can do. So then we're going to come to our jawline. And you can do a little pinching. So all along the jawline, up to our ears. You can do like a scissors action if you want, if you prefer, whichever feels more comfortable. When I'm actually doing a massage, I'll do scissors this way on some, but of course they're lying in front of me, so it's easier to do. So do them, yeah. And then you can get this, and you can just kind of go with your finger and your thumb. So your thumb's underneath that jawline, and you can be a little bit firmer. And just
sweep it back.
Sweep it back, yeah. Get it like a bit like this, so you're kind of, yeah, that's it. And then pull back. And this is like a nice for a little bit of lymphatic drainage, because the lymph in our body is a fluid. It works alongside our circulatory system, our blood. But with the blood, we have our heart to pump the blood around our body. I'm just going to carry on doing this while I'm talking.
Yeah.
But with the lymphatic system, we don't have a pump for that. We need to move that, and we do that through movement, through exercise and things like that. So, and then on a facial massage, because then when you have a massage, you just lay and let someone do what they're doing. You don't know what they're doing. But even in a body massage, they'll be doing. Just move up a little bit now. We just sweep our cheeks. Go up to the side of your ear as well, top of your ear. So they'll be doing a little bit of lymphatic drainage, even on the body massage. And on a facial massage, some of the movements that they're doing is a lymphatic drainage, and it moves that lymph, it moves it about into the lymph nodes. We can do a little bit of drainage with that. And then, you know, sometimes that's why that reduces that puffiness and everything. We go on the other side. So it reduces a bit of the puffiness. We're just going to go from the corner of our mouth to the top of our ear there. We can do a little bit of, see this when we smile, we've got them lines there, the nasolabial lines. So we can just get these two fingers and just push up. Just one side at a time.
That's very attractive.
I know, I do some facial exercises, and they're really good fun, because you're doing all sorts of things with your face and your tongue and whatever, but they're quite good fun. So you just push that, because that's that muscle there, you're pushing that up.
So like where you're like the little Adam's apple, the apple of your cheek. Is that what it's called? Yeah.
So with our lips, you can do the same. You can do like little pinching or little scissors, whatever you prefer.
So for those of you joining us on the podcast,
I know, there you go.
We're currently looking very sophisticated.
Yeah.
Together.
And you can do a little bit of circular massage around your. That's why you're better off just laying on the couch and shutting your eyes. You don't know when that.
So just little circles, or what?
Little circles.
Your nose and all the way around your mouth. Okay.
Yeah. And then we do a little bit on the cheeks. So you can use these 2 fingers, and it's a very, very light action. So you're going to go from the corner of your mouth to the top of your ear again. You're just going to go like a little zigzag. And the thing is, with it's a very, very light. You know, even you might think, oh, what's the point of that? And then you're going to sweep up with the other hand like that. Okay. The thing is, with your lymph nodes and your lymph is sitting at the top of the skin, really. So you don't. That's why you don't need to push hard for it to go. Yeah. I mean, some people have lymphatic drainage on their legs or their arms and things like that, and it's a very, very light touch where you can't even hardly feel it. But when they've filmed it under like an MRI scan, they can see the lymph moves. It does something. You can see after because it's drained away. And then we do the other side. So we're just going to do like little zigzags on the side of our face. And what you're doing when you're having a facial massage is you're stimulating the circulation, you're stimulating the blood vessels and the blood cells and that. And then what that does, and it brings more oxygen to the surface, which is why, you know, you end up with a nice little glow, a little red face and things like that, because you're moving that circulation. So, and then when you have an actual facial treatment, I've done more on them, I know, yeah. So we're going to do some circles on our cheeks now. We just do some, be a little bit firmer. Yeah, when you have an actual facial, you know, you're removing the dead cells. You're activating that, so you know, you can't see the dead skin. You're having a good clean of your face. Now, what you can do on this bit here, you can go a little where your jaw is. So, because often there's, you know, that's where we're chewing, and some people might, you know, get grind their teeth. Yeah, and it might be. Now, you can sometimes hold a little bit of stress or tension in that area. So it's really nice to just have a nice bit of a massage in that area. Then we go to the side of our nose and just do 1 nostril at a time, because otherwise you can't breathe. And then we do the other one.
This guy's snot everywhere. Like a lady.
And then we come just above the nose to that top bit of our forehead, to the base of our forehead, say there. Just do a little few.
The frown line area.
Yeah.
Not all my what the fuck lines.
And then with the eyebrows, you can just pinch your eyebrows. I'm actually going on a course for a natural facelift massage, so I'm doing that. That'll be my next little thing.
Yeah,
yeah. And again, you're stimulating all the vessels, the blood vessels, that. So yeah, and just very, very gently around your eyes. That's why you need to make sure you've got product on. You don't dragging the skin. Just very, very light little circles around your eyes. And then we do a little bit of tapping. The actual massage term is tapotement, but people call it tapping or raindrops. And just on the side of our eyes, we can just do like little sweeping little movements up on the side where we get them little crow's feet, little laughter lines, lifelines. And then the other side. My face is really getting pink now.
Yeah.
And then we can come up to the forehead. So we can just go, we can do a couple of sweeps across just like this. And obviously we can feel that's a firmer surface because that's a bone. And then we can do similar to what we did on our cheek. So we can come across and just do a little zigzag all the way up and down our forehead.
Okay.
And then just sweep across with the other hand.
It's almost like you're just wiping your brow.
Yeah, and then you're just coming across again. Yeah, so although a facial, you know, people go, oh, it's a nice treat, it actually, you are doing your skin quite a lot of good looking after it. So, because although, you know, with the best will in the world, you know, we also, oh yeah, I'm going to do my face pack once a week. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And we often don't, you know.
Yeah.
So getting someone else to do it for you, and it's that nice bit of treat. And what I actually do, because I'm going to do one more while I'm rabbiting away, because when people have a face mask on, I didn't have many professional facials really, but you know, often they might say, do you want a hand massage? Or sometimes they do their paperwork, or sometimes they leave the room even. I've been in actually in the spa when they leave the room. We can just do a nice little bit of massage on the temples there. They leave the room. So what I do, I think, well, you know, someone's laying there, you've got a face mask on, you've got like little cotton buds or some cotton wool on your eyes or something to keep your eyes protected, just have that relaxation. So what I've started doing is asking people if they want some Reiki while they've got the face mask on. I'm like, oh yeah, I'll try a little bit of Reiki. So I might do some Reiki on their over their head and their face. Yeah. And it gives what I call a deeper relaxation to the treatment. And sometimes they fall asleep during it. They go, oh, that felt so lovely. So I've started doing a little bit of Reiki, and they get a taster of Reiki, but also I just feel they're getting something else in that time where ordinarily they might not have anything done. So
yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, so we can do a little bit of lymphatic drainage. So like we've moved the lymph a little bit, just a little bit. I know it's only a little bit, but you can put one finger behind your ear.
So the index finger behind the ear, yeah.
And the rest in front.
And just drag it down.
You just kind of come down and just go just above your collarbone and out there. So you've got lymph nodes behind your ears and down. Well, you've got lots of places. The ones that people are most familiar with is when they say, "Oh, my glands are up in my throat," and it's the lymph glands, yeah.
Yeah.
And then we can just come to the neck and down. And then you can finish off a little bit more there if you wanted to. And I sometimes finish off with like a little head massage, but
yeah. Got my hair.
That's just a little quick kind of a little bit of facial massage. But yeah, you can see, you know, your face gets a bit pinker, and and that's the thing about, you know, cleanse whatever product you're using. It's about cleansing your face properly. While you cleanse, tone and moisturize, it's not just because it feels nice. It's doing a job. It's doing 3 jobs really. Yeah, getting rid of that. I mean, how many times we've been to bed with our makeup on and go, oh, I can't be bothered, or whatever. And then, you know, over time, you know, if you keep doing it, your skin's going to dry out. You're going to get, you know, maybe breakouts, and it's just or a dull looking skin. So
oh, it's lovely. I really enjoyed that. Thank you so much, Eileen.
Thank you for asking me again.
Absolute pleasure. It's been really eye-opening. I had no idea. I've only just ever had facials for how nice they feel. I had no idea they had so much good stuff going on as well. So that's brilliant.
Yeah, you really, you know, a friend of mine came and had a facial. She'd never had a facial before. I said, "Oh, come and have a facial." This was before lockdown, and she's a frontline worker. I met her years and years ago, in 1979. In fact, I met her, and I've never had a facial. So I said, "Come and have a facial." So she had a facial because you work so hard. I said to her, you know, she's a nurse practitioner and, you know, really busy and everything. And she had this facial, and of course, you know, you have the steaming as well, and all the whole kit and caboodle that goes with it. And she now, when I walk past my beauty shop and I see what people are paying for a facial, I go, "Why do people pay for someone just to wash their face?" She said, and now I know they're not just washing their face. And that was quite funny. I kind of remember that. So, and it's maybe what do people think a facial is? So yeah.
That's brilliant.
More self-care.
Indeed. Eileen, it's been so much fun. Thank you so much for giving us your time. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you. And have a wonderful rest of your evening.
Yeah, and you too. Thank you.
Cheers. Take care.